The Bruins seem to be making it a habit to start every game in the bumpiest way possible right now. But they also seem to be making up for it by sticking to the plan and refocusing their energies and efforts. Last night's game against the Mammoth was exactly that, and much like a lot of their games most recently. Will we see the same pattern emerge when they play the Oilers on Thursday, or will they dominate the struggling team for the full 60 minutes? This is the Bruins tape-to-tape snapshot.
If there's one thing that we're learning about this year's Boston Bruins team, it's that they don't tuck tail and run when they get behind in a game, and they have the ability to self-correct and make adjustments to fight their way back into a game. That's exactly what the case was on Tuesday night against the Utah Mammoth at the TD Garden. The Bruins won the game by a score of 4-1, and the Utah Mammoth were the much better team in the first period, given the Bruins everything that they could handle, and Jeremy Swayman did his job and did it well throughout the course of the game. He stopped 20 of the 21 shots that he faced. The Morgan Geekie show was on full display again against the Utah Mammoth. He scored 2 goals, one of which came on the power play late in the first period after the Utah Mammoth went ahead 1-0 on a power play goal of their own in the first period. But the story was the fact that the Bruins came out in the second period early on with an offensive thrust and push that the Utah Mammoth simply couldn't handle. Morgan Geekie set the tone in that second period by scoring a mere 23 seconds into the second period, giving the Bruins a 2-1 lead, and the Bruins never looked back after that. Casey Mittelstadt added a goal in the third period, and Mikey Eyssimont added an insurance goal, 4-1 in the third period, an unassisted, beautiful goal, basically going end to end to give the Bruins and solidify a solid win against the Utah Mammoth. The road ahead for the Bruins is not easy in that they have the Edmonton Oilers coming into the TD Garden on Thursday night, and then divisional games against the Ottawa Senators and the Montreal Canadiens. So setting the tone for this homestand with a crucial 2 points is huge. The Bruins are literally one of the best teams in the league on home ice this season, and they need to take advantage of the home cooking while they have the opportunity before going into the Christmas break.
Thursday's face-off against Edmonton is the first this season and the first time playing against former teammate Trent Frederic. It's going to be interesting to see how new goalie Tristan Jarry plays for the Oilers instead of the Penguins. As you may recall, we've seen a lot of his antics over the years when he played for the Pens, such as, nets coming off their post, helmet going flying, and some pretty questionable stick work from this netminder. Jarry only has 16 games under his belt so far this season to Swayman's 22, but he has been playing fairly well so far with a 10-ish GSAX, .905 save percentage, and 2.77 goals against. In case you haven't seen lately, Swayman is now up to an 18.4 GSAX, .909 save percentage, and a 2.74 goals against. Obviously, the biggest threat from Edmonton is the 1-2 punch combination of Draisaitl and McDavid. But those two aren't getting a ton of help in the scoring department. Edmonton is just breaking even with goal differential after climbing out of a pretty deep hole of -16 back around Thanksgiving. McDavid has 20 goals and Draisaitl has 17. Third place, Podkolzin has a measly 9 goals in comparison. Now, Boston also does have a weird spread between first, second, and third place in goal scoring, but at least we've got a much more even spread of goal scoring across the lines. Boston's lines have scored 42, 20, 19, and 12 goals so far this season. In Edmonton, It's 35, 33, 7, and 4. Yikes. No matter what happens on Thursday night, it should still be a pretty fun game to watch. Make sure you rate and review the podcast to help us reach more listeners, and tune in weekly to our full podcast available on Apple, Spotify, YouTube, and all podcast platforms.